Everybody is bullish on telecom sector, spectrum auction has happened, but what about connectivity and connection?
I think more of towers need to be placed, but if all the money of telecom operators keep going into paying license fees, who will put up more towers? So till some more time, I think we'll have to be put up with these problems.
Why are market men then buying into Reliance Industries? Ajay, my colleague, told me that everyone is excited about the launch of Reliance Jio. Is that the only story which is driving Reliance up 8% in this week? I mean, that's a big move for a stock of that size.
I think Reliance, apart from the launch, which of course can give short-term excitement, but as an investor, I would rather like to see how it unfolds and whether it really clicks. But more importantly, their petrochemical capacities are getting added up this year and next year, and that should bring a lot of money, and that is pretty certain. At the same time, refining is doing reasonably okay. So I think both those things also make it more interesting, apart from the fact that yes, there will be some outcome of their 4G strategy, and we will be able to see how it really unfolds.
What about the market then, Amisha? It's been 5 consistent day of gains. Does it seem like 8,000 quite clearly is a firm bottom we have at our hands?
So most likely one can say that, you know, this 7,900, 8,000 should be a good bottom. But I would think that one should still be a little more practical about the fact that it will be a range-bound market. So somewhere closer to maybe 8,350, 8,400, markets would like to rest. So it will keep moving in a range. That's what broadly it appears for some more time before we really take a very decisive action upwards.
And what will it take for market to go back to the previous half, 9,000 on the Nifty? I mean, what has to change? Is it rain? Is it RBI? Is it risk?
I think to some extent time, to a great extent time, because as the time unfolds, we will start seeing impact of couple of things. One is extremely tight fiscal reining, which impacted even the government spending. As it becomes normal, economy will start seeing some initial green shoots. Beyond that, all the orders which we've been talking or hearing about, as it gets placed and starts rolling out over the next 6 to 8 months, it will also give little impetus to the economy, I mean the activity on the ground. And beyond all, even if RBI does not in a hurry reduce rate, whatever rates have been reduced, the impact of that also takes little time to come in the economy, which also needs 2-3 quarters from now. I think all those will start reflecting. And beyond all, my personal belief is that inflation probably will not come back in a hurry the way commodity prices globally not only have happened, but its cascading impact in economy will continue to happen. So I think the hope for RBI's move, which has been just at the moment, is very negligible. I think that's not the correct assessment, and rate cuts will come. But I think market needs time, nothing beyond that. Rest of the things are happening, maybe little slowly than market expected. So now market needs to rest a bit, and economy needs to pick up.
So, Amisha, give me your top 3 mid-cap ideas.
Top 3 mid-cap ideas. So, within finance, banking and finance, within the mid-cap names, we have recently released our report saying that we like L&T Finance Holding, which is the L&T arm into NBFC. We think that they have restructured their portfolio to a great extent, and we expect that from 10.5% kind of an ROE for FY15, they are heading towards almost 15.5% ROE by 17, which is also accompanied by a 25% growth in disbursements and 32% growth in bottom line. So we think at current valuations, which is closer to 1.4 times 17, it deserves a re-rating and growth is going to accompany. So that is one of our key mid-cap recommendations currently. We also like KEC. We've been liking it, but I think the stock has moved up a bit more. But the broader story there is that the transmission side of the business domestically has also seen a situation where the number of competition has reduced from 14-15 to just about 4-5, and all the power grid as well as states have been pretty active in improvising the transmission distribution network as the generation issues have all been sorted out, be it in terms of coal, be it in terms of rates and PPA, etc. So I think the focus of investments will continue to be transmission, which is where KEC is a very big and a player with a very healthy balance sheet. And third one we like within pharma space, a Glenmark, where we think that they have gone through a period when they were continuously applying for US products. Permissions took much longer than expected, and in the meantime the growth as well as top line as well as bottom line growth suffered in 15. Come 16, 17, 18, we think that a lot of permissions are going to come. We expect more than between 2000 and 2500 crores of free cash flow to be generated. We expect within 2.5 years company will become a debt-free company, and the earnings will also grow at a CAGR of upwards of 40%. So we think this one also probably will continue to do well. Though we have been recommending it for a while, the stock has done much better than the peers currently in last 1 month or so. But I would say that every decline, this is a stock one can still look at.
Yeah, Misha, thanks so much. It was surely a lucky day. Nice 3 mid-cap ideas coming from you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good to chat with Amisha Vora as always. Let's take a quick